Welcome, welcome. I hope you're all doing well. We've been wanting to do this chat. Let me see where I can set up the camera here. How are you guys doing? Gosh, we've been moving stuff around. Let me see if I can get the lighting set up a little bit better here. So you guys, I have my mom in the chat. And I know we were talking the other day about this health product. It's not really a product. It's more like well, it's an ionizer. We've been talking about this on and off. A lot of people have been asking about my views on health, and of course pH is really key when it comes to that. So hopefully we have better lighting here. Let me get my phone so I can see your chat messages as well. So I wanted to do kind of like a cool little demo. Oh, we are playing and we're hearing ourselves. Okay. Let me open up the chat here on, so I can see the comments more easily. How's everybody doing? So I can see the comments more. Okay, so hey guys. Hey, welcome. So yeah, my mom is in the chat. So as you guys know, we're talking in general, right? In terms of the physical body and health and inflammation. We've been drinking this water, alkaline water, for about, what has it been, like over 10 years. So you guys know my dad, well, I've mentioned this as well. My dad is a chiropractor. And so we've always been into natural health. And this is one of the things that, we've really stuck with over the years. It's had really amazing benefits for, myself, I can say, to the point where I literally I took a machine with me to Italy when I was studying abroad there, because it helped personally me with my skin, and which obviously first addressed the gut. So yeah, my mom is also really passionate about health, and she's really passionate as well about this machine. It actually saved her life, and maybe she can tell you a little bit about that. She is also, she's technically an engineer, so she's very much sciencey, and she likes to research stuff. So she's been doing crazy research. So yeah, if she's not too shy, if she's still in the chat, I was like, Mom, you want to get on? And so, oh, there she is. Yeah. So, yeah, she's been looking at different, let's say even articles, different topics. And so if you guys have, I wanted to open up this sort of chat space in case you have questions about certain things, even very specific things, like I know, even, maybe autism or weight loss, and of course this is a disclaimer, general video. You should always consult your private practitioner. And but yeah, so I know we've been talking about that, and maybe we'll also do some demonstration. My mom is a Cancer. She's a triple Cancer. Yeah. Sun, Moon, and Mercury. So yeah, so it's interesting. Venus and Gemini. Mars and Virgo. So actually Mars conjunct Pluto in Virgo. So yeah, which was very interesting actually when it comes to health. And maybe for the longest time I actually really wanted to make a video with my family. Earlier in the channel I wanted to come on and do a whole roundtable thing, and then it just never ended up happening. So, but yeah, maybe she can chat a little bit about her story, her stuff. She's originally an engineer, but yeah, she's really she's taken a turn, we'll say, and gotten really passionate about some different things. Testament to how you never know where you so-called end up in life, or where you take yourself. So yeah. Hey everyone, hello, Austin's Tarot. Hey, Sober Girl, everyone, Andre, you guys, it's so cool to see you here. Wow, Surfing Girl, wow, triple Pisces. So yeah, okay, I'm looking at the chat. So she's typing. 15 years ago, yeah. Wow. 15 likes right there. 5 minutes, 30 seconds, 35 people in the room. Interesting. Yeah, so, story. So, okay, in the meantime, let's see if I can set up this. I would love to have it where we can just sort of see it, but then the lighting is not great, so hopefully, we'll eventually find a way about that, but okay. Now, we've been wanting to do a few tests here because I've been drinking Flow, as you guys know, and I know, yeah, and I know that this, you know, there are some, yeah, a lot of people I know who are into energy, they've been drawn to Flow. So I want to test that and see. We also got some different waters here where we can test like the pH, but we can use the little strips. And we've also got this handy dandy, or a P meter. So this will test the oxidation reduction potential, which is basically, it determines whether or not it's an antioxidant. And yeah, use that, test that. So yeah, these we can all test. These are like, you know, just some bottles that I've collected. Curiosity. I don't drink bottled water. I am really, this is something for me. Like, after I started drinking, I don't drink anything in plastic anymore. Like, it's an absolute no, personally, for me. And I know you guys have been asking, like, what do you eat? What do you drink? What's your lifestyle like? You know, that's one of the things for me. And I feel like, yeah, if you're going to do anything in particular when it comes to your health, I would definitely invest in making sure that you have clean water, which not only means filtered, but also, you know, thinking about, like, you know, what it comes in. Sometimes water travels in plastic for months, I think sometimes even years, and it literally, it kind of like, it soaks, and it's not a good thing. And yeah, there have been all kinds of, you know, so environment aside, in terms of health, you can actually taste the plastic if you stop having it for long enough. So, and the whole theory about that is, you know, you just want to have less toxins in the body. Yeah, it's, these days we already have, I think, enough toxins with the air, with what we consume. Unless you're like absolutely cooking your own vegetables, you know, you have a farm or something of this nature, which hopefully one day we will all have, okay, our own farm. But if you are, right, yeah, unless you are in control of your entire sort of dietary intake, you know, you more or less, okay, you may be ingesting pesticides, which that's a whole thing, and yeah, you really don't want that in your bloodstream. So, and they have found that in, I think, the urine samples of pregnant women, they've found, yeah, pesticide residue. And so it's, you want to be on the spectrum of having less than more things that cause inflammation of the body, and that is what helps so-called health from a, you know, we're talking biology, putting less load on the liver to filter toxins. So yeah, when it comes to general health, it's really about inflammation and it's about the gut. So yeah, and so it's a whole elaborate conversation. There are so many sides to it, and I personally have been researching this for years when it came to my personal health journey because I wanted to really focus on healing leaky gut. And so to do that, and I didn't want to go to a doctor, I didn't want to like a conventional doctor. So the only way was really to sort of target my body itself and my health, and looking at what I'm putting in to my body and what I'm assisting my body sort of to focus on allowing it to do its thing, because the body is very intelligent. And yeah, so in a way, these symptoms that we experience so-called today, in the present day, they are a reaction to what we are doing. Everything is cause and effect. So this is my philosophy with, in general, I feel like we have the power to really, turn inwards, look at our body. What are we doing? What are we, in every way, right? Really. So nothing sort of happens randomly. And yeah, so every so-called symptom is meaningful, and it's a conversation with, ultimately, your gut. So yeah, right. And personally, I live in DC. I live in a city, I don't drink tap water, and I really don't recommend it. Yeah. So this is I'm just looking in the chat. So yeah. Yeah. Isn't it funny, you guys? So my mom literally, she's a Cancer sun sign, Cancer moon, Mercury in Cancer. There's literally so much water energy. And she's like, people call her like the water lady now because she's become so passionate about this. So it's just kind of interesting. Yeah, things like, chlorine and all kinds of things. And if anybody is familiar with water and the benefits of, if you're familiar, please join us in the chat. Feel free. But yeah, let's see. I'm really curious. I want to test these different levels. Should we try the oxidation reduction first? Okay. So as you guys know, this is Japanese technology. And what I think is really amazing about this is that you can do so many things with this one unit, not in terms of luxury, but in terms of efficiency. Yes. Yeah. And I think it's really cool to think that you can make your own drinking water. You can also basically subsist on this without buying chemicals anymore to clean. Yeah. And this is really also amazing if we were to really think about it and come down to it. Like, imagine, a lot of businesses, restaurants, hotels, spas, even farms, they're using this technology, and obviously they would probably be using a commercial unit. But yeah, and they're using it to sanitize. So let me show you really quickly here. This is actually a registered medical device in Japan, and so they use this in hospitals. They use and correct me if I'm wrong, is it true, the 2.5, they use that to sanitize hospital equipment. So this is literally produced 2.5 pH. So let me move this over here. As you can see, I've sort of hooked this up right to here. We have two tubes. So this one is always, you'll get alkaline water out of here. So there are like 1, 2, 3, about 3, well, technically more than that, but you can press 3 different settings. It does produce 11.5 as well. In terms of drinking water, though, you probably don't want to go higher than 9.5. And if you are very, like, let's say you have a really acidic body right now, if you're drinking a very high pH right out the gate, you might have a Herxheimer's reaction, which can be pretty intense. Yeah, so you want to go easy with it, just a side note. And she knows more about this, yeah, so God forbid if you have some signs from something like, some kind of, immune, some really, let's say autoimmune, okay, right? Is it right? You will have maybe a detox reaction. So you want to start really slowly. And yeah, so in terms of realkalizing the body and the pH. But to get back to it, yeah, so 9.5, if we were to hit 2.5, well, let's do it. Strong acidic water. It would come out of this little tube. It would produce it right here. And
strong acidic water.
I just turn the water on from the tap, and it's coming out of here. And this is just water, but it smells like chlorine. You can feel it. It's literally it kills like 99 point something bacteria. So a lot of chefs, they sterilize their equipment with that. You can use it as hand sanitizer. Okay, so hold on a second. I want to take this 11.5. So this right here, given that this is 2.5, this will produce 11.5. And this, obviously, anyone who is, let's say, is anybody like a chemistry buff in here? 11.5, you can create detergent with that. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. But to say it, yeah, if you hit that, you'll always get the opposite to reach the final pH scale. So if you hit 2.5, that's strong acidic, right? Then you'll get the remainder of that coming through the top tube of the alkaline, which is would be 11.5. So you really don't want to be drinking 11.5, but you can do all kinds of things. Like they have a really cool demo for this. When I saw that demo, I was like, whoa. They with the 11.5, you can emulsify oil, which is crazy. I mean, it just speaks to the composition of the water. So now, what else? Let me get into the chat really quickly. Yes, Kelly, this is the Kangen water filter. Oh, yes, you definitely want your coffee organic. Right, this is one of the top, heavily pesticide, used things. So, definitely. Sobergirl says, can you post a link where to get it? Okay, I'm assuming, are you talking about the water? Let me get the link. So, I think that they recently updated the way that you can order. Before it was kind of more challenging. Let's see. Let's see. I had this link up on a past video. Okay, but let's try the ORP meter, because that's really neat. So what are people in the chat? I'm curious. What do you guys drink right now? And do you drink water? Some people, they don't drink water. Amazing. Well, yeah. And if your body is very acidic, like this was the thing about me. Okay, before I started drinking the alkaline water, I was hooked on diet soda. It was horrible. This was years ago. It was when I was younger, which is even worse. And so it was to the point my acne was out of control, and my digestion was really not, my body was a little bit out of balance at that point physically, right? So it was almost impossible for me to not drink soda, and my parents were starting to really get worried. They were like, uh-oh, like how do we get her off of this thing? Because pH is very challenging. When your body is in an acidic state, it's really kind of hard to bring it out of that, because you're craving things that are acidic. So, and that's it, really for anything. I mean, if you're having a lot of acidic things in general, it doesn't have to be soda. Okay, maybe, for example, God forbid, smoking, or, these even maybe drinking a lot, whatever it is, then, you might start craving those things more and more, even like, let's say if you're having a lot of starchy food. So for me, this was, I was actually on, it was bad. I was on medication for acne, and that's not something that really was very was good. So I got off of that, and it wasn't helping my acne, and my parents were really freaking out because they're like, she's so young, like this is not appropriate. So then my dad found this by way of another of his doctor friends, and I started drinking the 9.5, and my digestion within a matter of days, it was immediate. I absolutely stopped craving soda. It was like, whoa. And so for them, when they saw that was really important to them. They were like, wow, this really helped her. So yeah, and so this is personally for myself. That's what it has done for me, and that was the most telling thing. So yeah. So yeah, well, I do have, I have the scars. Thank you, Ben, though. That's very kind. I can never tell you how to act. Oh. Yeah, well, since then, that was when I was, maybe in middle school. I started really focusing on my diet because my skin is very sensitive, and many actually, those who are very sensitive to energy, usually they have very sensitive skin. So, they'll have usually, they're sensitive to allergens and histamines. So I am one of those who gets very sensitive with the skin. If I eat certain things that are not good for me, I will just break out and I will feel it. So this is key. If you're, and it's very interesting. If you are, again, sensitive to energy, usually you're going to be very sensitive with what you eat. It makes sense, right? But anyways, so after that, I really became passionate about health, and I started to focus a lot on natural health and these such things. So I really try to put a lot into my body, and I know when I'm not eating well or balanced, I will see it in my skin. So yeah, that's something kind of interesting. It's a blessing in disguise because it kind of keeps you in check. If you're eating like a lot of sugar and candy and whatnot or other things, and then you're not seeing the so-called symptoms until years later. It can be years later, then it sometimes can be very challenging. So very important. This is so true, Kelly. It is not only what you eat, you also the water you bathe in. Absolutely. Your skin is the largest organ. It literally, and you can suck things in. So you've got pores, so you can detox and you can absorb through the skin. So that's where you want to be really, like you're saying, really, really vigilant with the water that you bathe in. If you're like, I don't have a bath here. You guys, I mentioned this to you before. Like, I really want to get into thalassotherapy eventually. This is one of my dreams. Because also when I was in Japan, this was something I was really like looking into. I was going to different sort of healing spas and looking at the ways that, because they're really into health, and they focus on thalassotherapy is huge there, also in Korea. And anyways, so because, and especially through the feet. So there's so much. I don't want to overwhelm in this video, but basically, you can really, you can detox through the feet, like if you do a foot soak, for example. So you want to be sure though the body is very smart. It's very smart. And you can absorb minerals as well through the feet and even through the hands, fingernails, right? This is where we have to go back and think, wow, like we used to literally be like cave people. And what would that literally mean? We were one with the earth. So we would be, let's say, foraging for like fruits or nuts or seeds or whatever, and we would have maybe dirt under our fingernails. At that time, the dirt was very different. The soil, right? It's very different. Especially, let's say, depending on where you're at, if you are even somewhere where they have really strong, fulvic acid rich volcanic soils, like, you will be absorbing the minerals from under your fingernails. So we're probably not doing that these days, but unless you are, which would be amazing, right? To be, again, farming your own foods and, but we're foraging, for any present day tribes people, which I think is, really cool. So, but let's get into it. Can really sort of get carried away with so many things when it comes to health. But yeah. So what I want to do, let's first, should we test the ORP?
Cleaning.
Okay, so Mom, I think you said I have to put on the beauty water first, right, to clear it? So this is the toner for the skin, which is an optimal pH for the skin. If you're making also any beauty products or something like this, this is the optimal pH for the skin. But this also runs the machine through.
Beauty water.
Okay, so I'll let that run a little bit, clear the pH, and then we'll get into
Kangen water.
9.5.
9.5.
So it's coming out of here. Let me pour it in a cup. Rinse this out. Put it on really low flow. So there are a few properties to this. Obviously, it's, the alkalinity is one thing, but it's also the hydrogen value and then the antioxidant value. So okay. So we'll fill this up. This is the 9.5 of. It's kind of cool. You can see the hydrogen bubbles here. So let's try this. Okay, Mom, you tell me if this is like correct. I'm saying it like I can hear her. To turn this on. Okay. So let's bring it closer so you can see. Let's see it close. So you put this in. So the negative right here, you see the negative? It's a negative charge. This is a negative charge. And you guys, so we're seeing 545, 547. If you guys, by the way, have any questions, anything like in terms of the chemistry or whatever, feel free to ask. So yeah, this is a negative 576 we're seeing on the 9.5. Okay, so that's the antioxidant value. Okay. So now let's save that. We can actually save that to do a test. Let's get we'll get just tap water. Let's assume that you're drinking tap, which again, hopefully this is not. But I'm gonna fill with the tap here. Okay. This is DC tap water. So let's take this and we'll put it in. So immediately you see that there's no minus. So this is oxidizing. This is ultimately water party, yeah. This is ultimately this is going to be oxidizing rather than antioxidizing. For the cells, that's not really what, it's better to have an antioxidant sort of value for the cells. The thing about the alkaline water here, the Kangen, the 9.5, specifically the ionized, we'll say, is that it's ionized, which means that the molecular structure has actually decreased in size, so small enough that it could actually pass through the blood-brain barrier, reach the brain in under 30 seconds. So you wouldn't feel that if you were to drink this, you wouldn't feel it in your stomach like sloshing around. I think a lot of sports athletes they use it specifically for that. I think the Lakers are on Kangen. Well, yeah, love and light to Kobe, but yeah. So that's something interesting. I'm looking in the chat here. Oh yes, my mom says our body works best with negative ions. So, okay, no, so this was, so we tested that. So this is just interesting to see. I'm curious though, because you guys, I've been obsessed with flow. I've been obsessed with flow for years. Let's open this guy up. It's actually, this is, because when I moved to DC, I hadn't got my machine hooked up. So until then, I was buying but this is not plastic, but cardboard. At least it's better. It definitely doesn't have the taste of plastic. But this is actually Virginia, from Verona, Virginia. This is spring water, technically. So let's test this. I'm curious, and I also want to test the pH, because this is technically alkaline. So let's get the testing here as all strips. Maybe before we begin with that, let's test the acid alkaline. Okay, here. So this is actually a dropper, a pH indicator, so we can see. How many drops do you think I need, Mom? I think I should have her on the phone so she can respond and type in real time. Wow. Okay, so that one is definitely is purple. Let's get the strip comparison. Okay, so, oh my, what's going on out there? Oh, fire trucks. Oh dear, well, hope everything is okay. DC is, this happened before in a reading. Do you guys remember that? Oh my gosh, it was like a year ago. I think it was a Sagittarius reading, something like that. Anyways, it's interesting because water puts fire out. Okay, let's get back to it. So, let's get into this here. We're looking at the strips here. So, with the pH indicator droplets, it's upside down. So, this would make sense. This is 9.5. So, and this one is the tap. It's technically, so they put lye in the tap water to make it technically alkaline, right? But lye is a chemical. Is it lye? They put something in there to help the water sort of move more easily through the pipes, but it's not great for your pipes. It's not good for you to drink what they put in there to just, if that makes sense. So it could read as technically alkaline, obviously, but it's not, in terms of the alkalinity, it's not, in terms of, other than that, it's not really healthy for you, if that makes sense. So, side note, okay there, but yeah, we can see that this is 9.5, it's really, really alkaline. I want to try, though, with these other waters, so I wish I had more cups. We'll get fancy, okay? We'll get fancy with smart water. I have I don't even drink, but this is just a cute, like, little champagne bottle. Let's clear this out. Rinse it. Is this fun? Is it interesting, guys? It's kind of interesting. Oh, my mom says, can you check ORP of flow? Yeah, I want to do that for sure. I want to do that. So let's check. So this is smart water. Again, personally, I don't drink any more bottled water because I can just taste the plastic and it's just, it's not something you really want to be. Wow. Okay, so this smart water is definitely on the more acidic, is it right, Mom? Because I see two charts here. So, I mean, in terms of color, you can see it's more yellow. Okay. Oh, she says check ORP. Okay, let's check ORP. I have another copy I can use here.
Kangen water 9.5.
Actually, let's just rinse this out. Okay, so let's pour the flow. And let's test the ORP. I'm really curious about this. I've been drinking this for some time now. Lights on. Okay, there we go. Oh wow. So this is 303 positive, which is oxidizing. So similar. Hey guys, can you hear me? Hey guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, so this is definitely not antioxidant. This is not an antioxidant. But as we see, we need to test it for. Oh, actually, okay, now we're getting confused. But yeah, I think, did we pour the flow and test that? Either way, in terms of antioxidants, yeah, there's no antioxidant in flow, so that's something to know. Okay, so on the whole, you want to be having more things that are anti-oxidizing, right? So-called anti-aging, so-called. Let's test though these other waters. Do you guys drink a particular brand these days? Did I test the pH of flow? Okay, this is Essentia. I didn't test flow. Okay, I need to do that then. Let's do that. So I'm gonna pour smart water out. Okay. And I'm gonna now pour the flow in. And let's test that. So they do say that this is it says an alkaline pH of 8.1. Okay, so yeah, that was tap. Whoa. Oh my god, this thing is very full. Whoa. This is tap then. So we were clear with that. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, so this is actually, yeah. I mean, it's understandable, yeah. It's alkaline. A little bit darker than the tap. But this is the 9.5. This is the yeah. So that's also telling us that the machine is working properly, which is great. Okay. Now, let's see what else, though. Essentia. Can we test that? Has anybody heard of this? Life Water. These are technically pH balanced, but I don't think it is ionized. It is. They add a sort of mineral to make it alkaline. So my mom could probably speak more on that in the chat. She's more familiar with this, and this is actually even reverse osmosis water. I've heard different things about that. People have mentioned that it's not so healthy for the body because it has pulled the minerals out of the water, so then your body registers the water as lacking minerals and it pulls the minerals out of your body to then make up for the balance. Is that right? Mom, maybe you can add that. So, okay, let's see what else. We're gonna pour this out now, and I want to test the Essentia. Does anybody drink Essentia here? Okay, first let's look at the Orp of Essentia as well. Let's see this. Am I using the meter right? Okay, this is positive charge, which is oxidizing again, 183. Let's try the pH tester. Interesting. So this is also alkaline. A little bit darker than this, both purple. But it's interesting. So this is, let's see. Supercharged ionized alkaline water. Interesting. So do they add, I think they do add the minerals here. So yeah, but this is technically 9.5 it reads. This is what they say on the bottle. So not charged, yeah. Alkaline, but not charged. Okay. Better than other options, though. That is for certain. Should we try Fiji? Let's try Fiji and see. I'm gonna pour this out. I want to see the chat. Whoa, I can't wait to get in the chat because I'm like curious to see what you guys are writing, like what you guys already drink. Okay, let's get Fiji here. Okay, let's try now the Orp. Yeah, this is also oxidizing, so positive charge, 280. About so yeah, not antioxidizing, and let's see the pH. Yeah, so more green, similar to a little bit similar here to the tap water. Yeah, so not really alkaline. I wish we had a sort of clear little tablet here to be able to read, because the pH strip, but yeah, so, but hopefully my mom is correcting whatever is going on in the chat. Okay. And hopefully this is interesting or helpful. Let's put this back. What else did we want to try? I'm curious. Let's try this. This is actually from, I did a haul the other day, and I did a, I went to this little natural, like, organic shop, and I was talking about some of their products there. They bottle their own water, and I'm curious to see, because they're pretty, like, health conscious and whatnot. Let's see their water, test that. Okay. Charge my phone. Give me a sec, guys. Okay. So this is from like a local grocery shop here. Let's see, just curious. Let's first do the and this is oxidizing. It's a positive charge, So it's also oxidizing 286. Let's try though the meter thing. pH. Okay. So, yeah. Similar to, again, the tap water in terms of pH. And yeah, so I mean, more or less, I mean, you can get a so-called alkaline water, read, but the antioxidant level will be different. So something interesting to note. But yeah, that's just with the pH testers. There's literally so many interesting things in terms of chemistry that you can test. Like I said, they do a really cool demo where they have like a cup of sesame oil, and it turns into foam with their alkaline water. So I don't have sesame oil though, but maybe we can do it as well with olive oil. Let's see. So give me a second, guys, and then I'm gonna get in the chat. I'm curious to see what. Yeah, right. Yeah, so the company definitely does have payment plan options. So in terms of finances, this is probably more like, you pay obviously more upfront, or unless you're doing a payment plan, but in general, right? I mean, but then you're not buying bottled water. And how long does the machine usually last, Mom? I think it's about, how many years? 30 plus? It's Japanese technology, they really put a lot into it. That quality of the titanium steel plates, I think. Yeah. Medical grade, again. So, and the financing, yeah. So, we were talking about this in the Gemini reading. You can basically pay, I think, $20 a month. Yeah. And you can have, yeah. I mean, it helps you just really, really take control of your health. And really also lead a more eco-friendly lifestyle, which is great. But of course, always take it as you will. So yeah, the owner of the company, we were literally talking about this in the Gemini reading. I think he worked for Sony, and he was like very successful or something like this. And then he lost all his family in Hiroshima, and he was like, okay, there's more to life. And so he wanted to start, I think he has family farms in Okinawa, which is a Blue Zone island, where they have one of the highest number of centennials, people who live over 100 years old. And so he has a farm there where they harvest a very particular type of strain of turmeric. So then he created this the company, and but the ionization technology is years old. So I think it's actually a Russian technology or something like this, originally. But yeah, so maybe you can. Yeah, he's a philanthropist, right? So it's interesting. He's a Pisces. Yeah, we were kind of going on about that. And so, anyways, he basically wanted to create a system where people could live a balanced life, mind, body, soul, actually, which is interesting when he talks at his lectures and whatnot. Yeah, he talks about that, how there are different pillars to life and health, so-called. And so one thing is that, is the health, but he also wants to make it financially possible for people to invest in their health. So that's something that he's done. Basically, they have like their own credit system in the company, and so you could basically have, clean water, and for, was it $20 a month? So yeah, but always take it as you will, you guys. Yeah, he's so humble. Isn't he so humble? That's what everybody says about him. Like, he's always there on stage with his wife. Like, they're this older Japanese couple. It's very sweet. So yeah, and so they don't do any like mass media marketing with this technology. He started it in Japan and really waited to enter into the market in the US. I think partly due to the the climate when it comes to such things in the US. You have to be kind of careful with the pharmaceutical company. So I think he wanted to kind of stabilize in Japan and then sort of migrate the technology into the US, which is as of recently. And so, yeah, it's but he doesn't want to take an approach of like, advertisement one-on-one. He wants to go word of mouth, which is kind of cool. And so he uses that via distributors and people who have had experiences who share it with others. There's a whole sort of side to that in terms of the marketing. So yeah, I hope that this is helpful and interesting. And I know some people were trying to purchase, and they went to the website a few weeks ago when we did another video, and they said that there was like an issue with the website. So if there happened to be something with that, we can get you in touch with someone, and my mom can sort of point the way if you are interested. And yes, humanitarians, exactly, right. Yeah, it's very special. It's very, very special. He really is. Yeah, everyone who has gotten involved with the company, it's in such a way where if you purchase, I think they make you like you're technically a distributor. So if you happen, let's say, to have a really interesting experience with your health, turn around and you happen to want to share it with somebody else, let's say, and somebody in your family, whatever it is, and let's say if they were to then order a machine as well, then the company would give you some sort of compensation for that. So, that's part of it, the system that he set up with the company. But yeah, and so people who get involved, they have these conventions every now and then, and some of them are held in Japan, and yeah, everyone just loves him. They light up when they're around him because he's really changed so many lives, and so people's health has radically transformed. So there's kind of a spirit to it, but of course, always take it as you will. And what else? People have gotten off of diabetes medication, right, Mom? This is what, obviously can't make any claims, but disclaimer, this is a general video. But yeah, just knowing that you can have control over your diet, your health, knowing that, the power of pH can make a difference, even if in small ways, right? Start making shifts so that if you feel guided, of course, and always use your personal intuition when it comes to your diet. But if you're having something that you're dealing with in terms of health, you definitely want to look at what you're putting in your body, and also obviously other ways in which you live your life. It all sort of contributes. So, but lessening the toxic load and increasing your vibration overall. So, and one more thing, this is really interesting. Molecularly, the structure of the water when it is ionized, it is, the name Kangen, I think, means it goes back to the origin point, which is so interesting. So it kind of restructures, yeah. So it kind of, there's a clearing with that, kind of interesting. But always, again, take it as you will. And yeah, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Anything else? Thank you, Cameron. Well, I got a stellium in the third house. Oh, Kangen means back to origin, right? So, interesting. Thank you so much for your super chat, Cost 8888. Thank you so much for tuning in, for your super chat. Very kind. If anybody has any questions with health, if you're dealing with anything in particular when it comes to inflammation in the body, arthritis, even such things, you really have a lot more control than you believe with making a change with that. And I think that's the most important thing here as well, is to believe that you can, And this is funny that we're talking about this in Scorpio season with 3 planets in Scorpio, because Scorpio is all about transformation, and so it's about uprooting and getting to the core of things, which is why usually anybody who is even remotely interested in alternative medicine, or even surgeons and such, they usually have a lot of Scorpio in their chart, or 8th house energies. So, because they like to get to the root of things. So, anything having to do with alternative medicine, alternative healing, Scorpio energy is very much at the forefront. So, personally, I can say for myself, I want to get back into my health way more. And, there are some there are some things I want to target directly when it comes to my own personal health, and Scorpio season has really sort of pushed me in that direction more so to get recalibrated and rebalanced with that. And so yeah, we'll put the link in the chat, and I'll tweet the link right now as well for the website where there's more information. Of course, also let's see, I'll get the yeah, so if you're targeting something with matters of health, Scorpio season is a wonderful time. Usually, yeah, the regenerative energies are very strong, and we've got 3 planets in, right now. So, in general, maybe if you want to do like a detox program, might be a great time during, and we were talking about this with the autoimmune protocol. The diet, autoimmune AIP, if you want to sort of detox, that's also a really cool way. Fasting is really can be very, very helpful. Let me see here. Okay. Where's this link? So, Mom, how does it work if they want to, should they, let's say, want to do a payment plan? How does this work? And while I'm looking for this link here. And some people have been asking about their pets. I think they use this for horses as well. Something like this, horses, and definitely pets that, same thing, pH is pH. So, let's see. Oh, right. We had posted this video, you guys remember? Titled The Importance of Water, pH and Frequency, Health in Alkaline Water. In that, I have the link to the website. Although you've probably, and you can also text, right? I think this phone number if you have any questions about anything, yeah, because there are a lot of studies I think they've done on this. Oh, my mom is calling me. Hi. Okay. Oh, okay. So, all right. Okay, I got it. All right, thank you. Let me forward it. Okay, so give me a sec, guys. I got the link now. I'm gonna tweet it. So, she said that she put it in the chat. Okay. You guys, my screen is so broken. I can't see where to put the tweet. I'm like assuming it's somewhere here. So, okay, this is the link I'm putting on the Twitter account. So for those of you who are interested, and you can tweet, I guess, any questions as well. If you have any questions on that, yeah. if you're going to invest in something, water, you're basically made of water. So and clearing, doing detox programs in general, great time during Scorpio. Scorpio energy is about sloughing off, we'll say, so-called, shedding of we'll say even dead skin cells. So just in general, it's a nice time just in general, maybe to think, maybe if there's a habit you want to kick, even, these types of things, it can really help you to focus on peach in general. Okay, Lauren, yeah, I've posted the link on the Twitter. I'll also put it in the bio of this video. And of course, if you know anybody who's going through something in terms of their physical body, you never know. You never know. It could be helpful. So, all right. And there is a business side, obviously, as well, to, like we said, the company, they're structured differently. Like, they don't basically allow anybody to advertise, like, for the sake of advertising. Like, they won't go and pay a celebrity to promote the water, for example. But we mentioned this in Gemini. Obama, his cardiologist, had him on the water, on Kangen water. Yeah, so amongst, I think, who is it? He's got like 10 machines. Bill Gates has 10 machines in his house or something like this. Okay, but anyways, yeah. I mean, it's really not about that. You should make decisions based on you, but to say it in this way, that if somebody wants the water truly, then it's kind of like he says, well, let that be the so-called advertisement. So yeah, it's really truly the power of the word that is passed around. And so if you know that if you do purchase a machine, that they will automatically sort of have you in the compensation system. So yeah, this is just sort of a side note. Some people, they're doing very well with this, and it's actually a whole business as well. But some people, they get into it just for the health side, and some people, they see that it can also transform your financial story as well, which is really cool, because again, that's the intention that the owner had when he started the company. So let's see. Oh, let me turn on the comments on this video. Yeah. And so, yeah, in terms of finances, at the end of the day, it would be cheaper than buying bottled or boxed water. So, from that vantage point, yeah, it's just an amazing deal if in many ways. So, I figured, I would be doing people a disservice not to talk about this. And I've just been waiting for the time in general to bring other concepts into the channel. Of course, energy work is part of it, but it's not everything. And I would be lying if I told you that I didn't focus on my health. Of course I do. Everything is energy as well. So, and that's where it's so important that you're also, questioning everything and making sure that everything is authentic for you and it feels right for you. And the other day somebody was asking, like, how do you choose things? Like, how do you, some mediums or healers, they will feel the energy of what they eat, of their food, before they eat it. And yeah, I will say that I do the same thing. Like, when I'm in the grocery store, I sort of I sense what I feel I gravitate towards. Marketing is really not, because you can have an amazing sort of marketing sort of looking whatever it is, but and many times it's been like, wow, this sounds like amazing, but it might not be the thing for you. And that's where you really want to feel, how do I feel about this? How do I feel with this? So I like to sort of and some people will say that, pray with their food before they eat, or however it is for you. I like to sort of feel my food, have a conversation with it, and then sort of see if I'm compatible with it. I feel everybody should do that always, because we are what we eat as well. So, and that's where you also want to be in a balanced and calm sort of mindset when you are eating, for example. And yeah, we were talking about that. Like, you could technically be a vegan, but if you're having like, you know, like you toxic thoughts, then this is, yeah, then what really is it coming down to? I need to edit this video bio so that you can see. For some reason, it doesn't let me edit this video because I'm on live right now. Maybe. No, it doesn't know. So, yeah. Making sure you're feeling your food is, I think, important. Some people, they energize their water. This is very similar to like crystal essences. If you were to like, yeah, crystal essences, like you have a crystal in let's say a cup of water or something like that, and you're creating the like essence. You're charging the water with a vibration. So it's quite similar, you know, your thoughts. If you're having something technically healthy, but then, you know, so okay, you guys, I'm going to edit this link. We're going to get into other videos here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I wanted to thank you guys for connecting here in the chat. So lovely, everyone, for your support as well overall on the channel. Thank you guys for tuning into you, connecting to you. We'll see you in the next videos. You guys, if you have any questions, then yeah, feel free. I'm going to turn on the comments here, and maybe my mom can like go in. If you have any health questions in particular, she'll hopefully she can come around and answer those. Bye.